Comments. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the third live stream for the Spring Into Adventure event. I'm Jim from Mystery and Mayhem. And I'm here with my good friends and my fellow adventurers. We have Mark at Book Time with Elvis to my left. And we have Sean D. Standfast. And we have Greg from Another Bibliophile Reads, Alan from Big Hard Books and Classics, and Debs from Rainer Reads Stuff. How's everybody doing?
Good day.
Good.
Very well.
Good, thanks. I think Mark's seized.
Mark, oh, did he? Let's see.
Yeah, he's froze.
Let me
He
add him
looks
again.
a bit frozen to me, yeah.
Was he talking about not seeing people on his screen?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh,
I had that problem, and then I had the problem last night when we were on with Gareth and Dave and Olive. I couldn't see my image. I mean, I can hear myself, but never get to see me. But if it's happening to me and happening to Mark, I wonder if it's a StreamYard thing.
Oh,
I
he's gone.
think I've got two windows up for him right now. There, and let me try this again. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, my screen seems to be freezing up here.
Is Alan frozen too?
no, I'm talking to Mark.
No. All
Where?
right.
My screen keeps freezing up. I got to scroll up there. That should be Mark coming in now.
There he is.
Hey,
I'm here. I was watching you guys for I was in the green room and I was watching you guys all talking about me and trying to piece it together.
well, you had
Hello.
Mark, you had two windows up, and I
Yeah.
tried to add you to the stage, but it said I'm at my limit because the other window was already up, which is weird to add you to the live stream. But anyway, I think we're all good now. I see we have a few people on. Hi, everyone.
Hi, people.
Yeah. So here we are. I see Randy's here, and Ariane made it. Hi, Ariane. She said she might not make it. Yeah.
Aaron, Bookless Pete, Nels, Randy's here in the chat.
So I'm going to click them and start showing some. Well, I'll show some comments to begin with. Why not? There we go. Did you guys want to go through what you've been reading for Spring Into Adventure this last week, Sean?
Sure, yeah. I read a novel it's called Out of Darkness, Shining Light, and it's about David Livingston, or I should say about his body. And after he died, it tells the story of them sort of mummifying him to a certain extent, carrying him to the coast, his servants. But the woman has basically an axe to grind against sort of David Livingston as an explorer or as a mouthpiece or of colonization and also feminism. Like she's got the female cook is one of the narrators, and it's sort of, she sounds like an uneducated slave at one point. And then in the next sentence, she's spouting 21st century feminism. And I'm going, whoa, wait a minute, what? But it was kind of interesting. And the one thing I did find out for sure is that one of his servants or people that helped him out who went to one of his schools at Jacob Wainwright, his journal was finally published in 2008, and Livingston died in 1873, so it took a little while for that journal to get published. And then I haven't got too far along with this. It's it's Mary Kingsley's travels in West Africa. I'm only 150 pages in, and it's pretty good. It's she's traveling on like the West Africa, the Ivory Coast, and so forth. And it's kind of weird because when you think of African exploration or African travel, you don't think of European houses and everything, but it'd be the same on the East Coast as well. But she's a pretty good writer, and for anybody who's not sure, she was, she was the daughter of Charles Kingsley, author of Water Babies and so forth.
Huh.
But yeah, that's all I've read this week, and I had meant to rewatch what was it, Mountains of the Moon, but I didn't get around to doing that.
Yeah, I haven't got around to doing my movie yet either. Probably on the weekend I'll do something. How about you, Greg?
Well, I did my novelization of King Kong last week. I think we talked about it a little. Mark, you're also reading that one?
Yeah, I read it. I started it on Saturday, finished it on Saturday. You know, of course, it was pretty.
Okay, I will let you talk about King Kong because that gives you something to talk about.
Thank you.
I started an audiobook of a science fiction novel just because I've been doing the BookTube Prize for fiction, and I was really tired of literary fiction because I'd read 4 other books of literary fiction this month. So it's called Shards of Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky. He's most famous. What's the one about the spiders that evolve intelligence? I can't remember the title, but that's his most famous one. But this was pretty good. It's a little Star Trek-y in the universe. Is like there's star travel and there's lots of different aliens about. What's really interesting is that the premise is that there was a huge war with this alien race called the Architect. And this alien travels in this massive spaceship and doesn't communicate with any other species. But when it gets to a planet, it redesigns the planet. It likes to suck out the Earth's mantle and create these big flower-like architectural designs, which of course kills all life on the planet. And then they have this species. It's not a species, but someone created this thing they call intermediaries, where they can navigate through like null space, and they can actually interact with this architect. And all of a sudden, all the architects are just left, and that's the prologue. Now, you're trying to say, well, why did these species come? Why did they leave? They may be coming back. They had this huge adventure because they discovered the spaceship that looks like it's been messed around with these aliens. So I'm about almost halfway, and lots of fight scenes and alien battles and betrayals. So it's mindless science fiction adventure. All I can say.
Who's the writer again, Greg?
Adrian Tchaikovsky.
Okay.
Someone in the comments may know the book I'm talking about, where he created an alien planet where spiders evolved into an intelligent species.
Yeah.
I know the book very well because it was very. I mean, that was more of a hard science fiction book, but this one's just pure mindless adventure, really.
Which is good. Nothing wrong with that.
It's a good palate cleanser after I've been reading a lot of the literary fiction that I've been done this previous part of the month.
Yeah. I'm gonna click on some of these people saying hi while Alan talks about his book.
Okay. Well, I've been reading Mark Twain's Roughing It, and our own Randy Ray started it with me. I think he's going to make a comment about that. Then I had this Swashbuckling Adventures book, and I read the story so far by our friend Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and I think Mark's familiar with the story too about the brigadier general. It was entertaining, funny. There's a scene in there where he meets a woman on the road and kind of falls for her, and she ends up robbing him, like embraces him and picks his pocket, stuff like that. I want to read, though, if you probably know this guy, H. Bedford Jones, kind of pulp writer, I guess, along with like the era of Max Brand with the Westerns and stuff. He's got a Pirate's Gold story in here. I'll read that tonight or tomorrow. But that's what I've been up to adventure-wise.
Yeah, cool. So Aaron said hi. Bookless Pete said hi. Ariane Fowler said hi. Nels. Randy's here.
Hi, y'all. Hey, Randy.
Yep. That's okay, Randy. We miss you here. This StreamYard, it's too bad you can't get more than 6 people on.
Well, you can pay for it, of course, like everything else.
Yeah. Randy likes your haircut, Mark.
Oh, cheers, Randy.
Yeah, I want to second that, Mark. I need a haircut myself.
Yeah, it was quite enjoyable, actually. I have to say, I was telling Jim earlier.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Yeah. Daniel Tenney says hi. He's enjoying the Spring into Adventure. Read The Veil of Lost Woman by Robert E. Howard. And I'm currently reading The Gods of Mars by Edgar Rice Burroughs. So,
very nice.
What are you reading, Debs? What have you read?
Well, I started with A High Wind in Jamaica, which I read purely because I wanted to watch Anthony Quinn being a pirate, which I did. And he is an absolutely delicious pirate. He's very good. The book was, when was the book published? (1929) originally, and the film was 1965. Yeah. And it's about kids who get sent from Jamaica to England to go to school because their mother thinks they're running around like animals. They don't get very far. The ship is captured by pirates. The kids accidentally end up on the ship with the pirates. But one of the kids develops a relationship with the Anthony Quinn character. And he grows to quite like her. She grows to quite like him. So when they are eventually repatriated to Britain and these pirates are arrested, she's then forced to give evidence against the pirates in court and doesn't really want to because she's developed this relationship with him. It's quite good. I love the film. I've loved the film for years. Then I've finished finally Valkyrie, which I was reading as a buddy read with Vin at Revenant Reads and Stephanie Cohen as part of his Storython. But that's about the role of women in the Viking world. And it's an odd sort of book because although it's non-fiction, it's taking most of its evidence from sagas rather than archaeological or other relics. So it depends on whether you believe the sagas, I suppose. But they, adventurous women in.
Isn't there some debate whether the sagas are loosely based on real people and it's just sort of exaggerated lie? What?
Yeah. So I'm not sure whether you can class this work as non-fiction when it's basing most of its evidence on something that could be fictional. It's just It was odd. I enjoyed it. And I love.
I think it's fair to call it nonfiction. I mean, they're trying to determine what the real events are behind the fiction.
Exactly. So it was really interesting. And obviously women traveled with Vikings when they were A, exploring, B, resettling, even in battle, they had women with them. So that was quite good. Then I opted for some kids' stuff.
Uh-huh.
These are Enid Blyton books. Now, everybody knows Famous Five and Secret Seven, but these were the ones that I really liked as a kid. And they all have of adventure in the title. So this one is the Castle of Adventure, and this one is the Valley of Adventure. And one involved treasure and one involved spies. And they were all very good fun with lashings of ginger beer.
And they're uncensored ones, I hope, as well. So with lashings of racism.
They are uncensored. And finally, I started Taras Bulba.
Oh, great. I loved that book. Yeah.
I've never read it. I started it purely because I wanted to give myself an excuse to watch Yul Brynner in the film version.
Is this the one by Nikolai Gogol?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got Cossacks.
This is great in the film, though, when Tony Curtis they go over the rise, and he says in his strong American accent, he's like, "Yonder lies the city of my father."
Yeah. I found Tony Curtis a less convincing Cossack, to be fair. I think Yul Brynner was possibly more convincing than Tony Curtis was. Altogether too pretty to be.
But the book's well, it's a novella or a short story, really, isn't it? Because the collection, the one I had was like very thin, and there were still other stories in it. So, but I enjoyed it. Good.
There's quite a few stories in that. I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through, but it's good fun, and then I can watch the film. So that was me for this week for adventure.
Yeah, good. That's stuff. A lot of reading. You did a lot.
Well, to be fair, these ones only take about an hour and a half. So
yeah. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, well, as Greg mentioned, I did do the novelization of King Kong last, when was it? So after the last live on Friday, I read it on Saturday. That's it there. And, it's very short, very readable. To be honest, I was actually surprised because, like, the whole lead up to getting, like, King Kong and stuff is like a long part. And then suddenly all the stuff that's, like, it's famous for is, I don't know, 6 pages at the end, I suppose, if that. So it's kind of weird. There's a lot of lead up before you get to the whole, Empire Tower scene and all this stuff, which doesn't last very long at all. But it was good. I mean, the adventure part was, on Skull Island and stuff was entertaining, and some of the characters were quite good. But then in the end, I did have to agree that it's actually a very sad book, and it kind of depressed me after reading it, really.
Oh, really?
When I just started thinking about how horrific it was that this poor guy, poor monkey, poor ape, whatever, it was literally just taken from his home and treated like, a freak show display, and they torment him. And he even says in it that they basically like tortured him into submission and stuff. It was so horrific. So in the end, I just felt really sad for him.
All for greed. Just for greed, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's worth reading. Of course it is. It's so iconic, but it's not worth. I mean, it's probably not worth buying at the price I've seen it at, especially like for people in the UK. Because I don't even. You can't even buy it, can you, Sean?
Well, you have to buy it from an American seller and then have it shipped. That's why it's expensive.
Don't spend the money.
No, it's not worth it. But if you can get an e-copy or whatever, then
I had Audible. Mine was audio for free on Audible. So
Yeah, it wasn't free on my Audible, I don't think. But sorry, I've got Elvis hairs flying up because he's throwing stuff around. But yeah, no, I'm glad I read it. It was fine. It was the only thing adventure-wise that I completed. However, I am partway through the second Tarzan, The Return of Tarzan, which is proving to be quite enjoyable. But, it is funny, like, thinking of him, roaming through the streets of Paris and sitting down, drinking absinthe and stuff in the cafes, But it's interesting how he's got that kind of whole... It's always more like a superhero vibe than the first one because, he's dressed in normal, but normal clothes and stuff, but he sees red and goes psycho and beats up 10 men at one go and all that kind of stuff. But it's good fun. It's proving to be very, very enjoyable. Sorry,
is he a captain in the Air Force at this point, or I could have that wrong? Like I know he's got some capacity in the military. I think he becomes a captain or something like that. He might not be there yet.
Yeah, maybe not. No, I don't know.
But it's interesting to see him in the desert, fighting the Bedouins. And
I haven't got there yet either. Jesus, spoiler alert, Jim.
No, it may not have been in that book, but
it sounds like there is one called Tarzan and the Foreign Legion. So I wonder if that's
that could be it. It's been a while since I read them, and they all kind of blur together, so you forget what happened and what sometimes.
Yeah. I've never read the book. I've only seen the old Johnny Weissmuller movies.
Well, I think
the Bo Derek version.
Burroughs tried to get out of. He didn't want to he didn't want to always have him in the jungle. I think he wanted him to be, like Mark was saying, like more of a superhero and expand his adventures. But then people and the publisher just wanted him in the jungle. So then Burroughs just brought him back to the jungle instead of trying different things with him, And I think Burroughs probably got tired of him after a while. Except towards the end, where he kind of had a renewed interest and excitement in the character.
I'm waiting for the Beaugest and Tarzan mashup for that to happen because it would work. It would work.
Yeah.
But it's worth reading at least the first one, Greg. I really enjoyed it. So if you've never read it, it's definitely worth it.
I have it on Kindle. I mean, Burroughs, you buy collected work of Burroughs, 99 cents, $1.99, something like that.
Yeah.
I think in Delphi, I think for pounds, just very little money.
Not strictly adventure. I have been reading only the last couple of days. We started Cotton Comes to Harlem with Randy Ray, which is, I have to say, great fun. Really, I've been laughing reading that. It's good stuff. So that's fine. And I did just before we came on pretty much complete my week 3 prompt. I finished off The Man Who Would Be King. It is a great film. It's been years since I've watched it, and Michael Caine, actually, he's very good in it. And I did have to laugh at the beginning when they're researching the place, and he says, Alexander the Great went there according to Herodotus.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great film, and I think it does the short story justice. Definitely, they did a good job with that. Yeah. And I think in terms of just straight up adventure, that's probably it. I mean, I'm doing a Historathon, and I've been reading the first volume of Sir Stephen Runciman's History of the Crusades, which I guess is non-fiction adventure, really. It's quite a big adventure to go on. But I think, as I say, I think that might be it, unless I'm missing something. Yeah. So, and what about you, Jim?
Well, I haven't been doing much reading. I mean, I finished She earlier this week, and it kind of redeemed itself. I enjoy, or maybe it was last week, but I mean, I've been reading Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I kept it light. I didn't want to get into anything too heavy, and I kind of regret it now. I mean, this is probably well suited to Garbagast, more suited to that than spring into adventure. I mean, I hoped since it was James Rollins that there'd be some different stuff in there, and he'd kind of fix the problems that the movie had, and the only thing that was really different in it was there was kind of a teaser sequence at the beginning, which the movie didn't have, but the rest of it was pretty close to the movie, even the dumb parts, where he throws a snake into Indiana Jones when they're sinking in the quicksand to pull him out. I mean, I was hoping, okay, don't put that in the book because that was ridiculous. But of course, it was in the book. I guess it came down from on high that he had to follow the movie pretty closely. So it was a little disappointing. But that's all I got up to this week.
I didn't hear which Indiana Jones book was it?
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, okay.
The fourth movie.
I just see Peter the Book Lovers posted a comment which is maybe pertinent. He says,
"Okay,
Raiders of the Lost Ark would be fun. I love the movie. I could see it being an enjoyable book." Did they do a novelization of it?
Of Raiders? Yeah. Campbell Black wrote that. So I'll get to the comments then we have Randy there saying what he read, Roughing It, She, Cotton Comes to Harlem, and The Hobbit. And I'm a little slow here on there's Lou G says, hey. Hi, Lou.
Howdy.
Hey.
And Bookless Pete says hi to Mark.
Yeah, I'm very much enjoying reading Roughing It, and I'm a wee bit ahead of Randy, but he's getting into it. We're both Mark Twain fans, so did you like the new movie, Jim, of the Indiana Jones, the new one?
Not really. I mean, in general, it was just good to see Harrison Ford back as Indiana Jones, but in all honesty, the movie wasn't that good, and it didn't
like the
really.
Effect where they took it back with the AI they younged him up, made him.
I don't think they did a good job on that.
Oh no,
no. I mean, and Harrison Ford's frame is much smaller, and the hat just didn't fit right unless it was somebody else, doubling in for him. It just didn't. I don't want to say it creeped me out. It just, it didn't do.
Those movies, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfected.
I haven't seen the new one, but I'll see it on TV sometime. Or
you're not. I'm just looking through comments here. All of a sudden, they're coming in. Ariane says, "I tried reading the Isabel Eberhardt diaries." Oh, that's this book here. That's the one she's talking about. But it was hard to read, not knowing anything about her. So many things were out of context. Was this the one you read, Ariane? I'm just curious. The Life of Isabel Eberhardt. But I'm curious.
Is it her diaries or is it a biography?
Well, this is a biography of hers.
So maybe that's what Ariane needs to read.
Yeah. Yeah. That might be an option for me for the fourth week. Andrew says, hi. Peter, the book lover. I read King Kong and thought it was great. Beauty killed the beast.
It was good, but as I said, it's just when you ponder it, it's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah. As it was meant to be, I guess.
Was it originally intended to be sad, or is it? Or is that
a statement on man's greed, I think.
Well, the film ends that what killed Kong was love. That's what killed Kong.
Andrew's rewatching Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh, Roy Reads Anything is here. Hey, Roy.
Good.
Hey, Roy.
Oh, excellent. Good to see you here. Don't just excuse all the glitches and the mistakes. That's just me. I knew it the live stream thing. Roy, what a cool bunch of people, he says. Well, it's cool that you're here.
Comments.
What's that, Greg?
Everyone gets behind on comments on a live stream.
Yeah. They're hard to. Well, Roy's my favorite channel. I love Roy's channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should get him on at some point.
I'd love to.
Kick some other people off. It's kind of weird actually having an adventure event and not having Roy as one of the hosts.
You
You'll
know,
have to join us, Roy.
well, he's got his giant April thing going on, which is
True, yeah.
awesome.
True.
He picks up some great books.
Oh,
He's also a big Haggard fan, I think, isn't he?
well, he's got all those lovely old compendiums, those collections of all the old periodicals and Victorian periodicals. I had a chance to get a whole bunch of London Illustrated News like that years ago, and I was a dummy. I didn't pick them up. I wish I had, you know. But Roy's just got tons of them. They're just awesome.
Mm.
So Jonathan Burrow says Tarzan is nothing like the old films. All the Legend of Tarzan, the most recent feature film, captures his essence. Jonathan, if you get a chance, watch Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan. That's a really good adaptation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on a flight actually.
Greystoke?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's been like 1984 or something, 85.
Lou G likes Raiders. Andrew Helm, I've got most of the Marvel comics, The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones. Yeah, they were pretty good, especially the early ones by John Byrne. They were really good. Ariane, no, I read one called The Nomad, and it was only diaries. Okay, so this is called Isabel, The Life of Isabel Eberhardt, and it's by Vintage Paperbacks. So that might be the one you want to check out. I haven't read it yet, so I'm trying to we'll get caught up on these. Aaron Hook. I'm trying to use a laptop, and I hate using laptops. My problem with the new Indiana Jones film was the first 10 minutes or so, set in World War II, was great. Well, yeah, it was the best part of the movie, even though the digital animation did kind of throw me off a little bit. Peter the Book Lover. Come on there. I can see it being cool. I read First Blood recently. That came first as a book. Both movie and book are both fantastic. Yeah, they're pretty good. And then Lou, as in the Stallone movie First Blood. Yeah, I think the author was David Morrell. I do believe. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's it. I think we're caught up on comments now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh no, Peter's just left another one.
Oh. I wouldn't like to watch a movie on a flight that has a planned crash or plane crash in the movie. Yeah.
It's not a plane crash though, is it? It's done in the Victorian time. Greystoke, they don't modern it up, do they? No. It's a
What?
Yeah, I think. Or unless he's saying generally, maybe.
I think he's talking about the Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about Greystoke because I said I watched it on a plane. So I was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a modern retelling. Yeah.
So what do you guys got coming up this next week?
This.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've shown
Greg
me.
and I, buddy.
Both.
What is
Yep.
it?
It's Moonbound.
What's that? I don't know. I can't see.
It's a graphic novel. Well, graphic not novel, is it? Because it's a graphic history, I suppose. Of the
Graphic
whole. Yeah, it's really highly regarded. Loads of people raved about it. So it's just the whole kind of, I don't know, like the whole history of even the thoughts and dreams and wishes of humanity to go to the moon, including, of course, the Apollo 11 mission. And it just looks amazing, doesn't it, Greg? I have to say.
It does. I mean, I picked it up from the library yesterday. So yeah, it's like Aztecs and Egyptians. It starts off early on, and I'm probably going to start it this afternoon today and try to knock it out by tomorrow or tonight.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll be hard. I mean, it's 250 pages.
Yeah, I'll start it tomorrow anyway myself. So
Yeah, that is for the last week, the prompt, right? Nonfiction. So I guess I got an early start as usual with the Roughing It.
What do you think of that book so far,
Are
Alan?
we? Sorry to interrupt, but like, are we going to repeat? Is it going to just be free for all for May, or are we going to just repeat the prompts over the course of the month?
Oh, I think it should be a free for all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Are we gonna do a buddy read though? Are we gonna do a group read for May?
Yeah, we need to decide that.
We need to figure out what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Suggestions in the comments.
I'm doing a buddy read with David Wiley, like The Moon is a Harsh Mistress by Robert A. Heinlein. I don't know if you guys want to get in on that.
It's not really
I've
an
never read
adventure.
it.
We
book,
read
but
that.
it's
I don't have a
not
copy
really.
yet. Find it.
It's
Well,
not
I mean,
it's just
I
a
thought-
buddy read.
I thought we were doing terror, of course, but apparently it's too long for some people.
And it's German for others.
John has to read German.
It's not hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
English.
copy.
This is English.
Uh-huh. Oh,
I didn't want
Yay.
the movie or the series cover, but
Oh,
I didn't want to take another chance by ordering someone else, so it just came from Amazon. It's what is it, 936 pages long.
Well, nothing.
But I bet the font is pretty big on it.
Yeah, it's fair size. Yeah, so it
Yeah.
shouldn't. I mean, if he writes like he did for Hyperion Cantos, then it should be pretty easy and pretty quick.
Yeah, it's my favorite horror book, or whatever, however you want to
Yeah,
categorize it. I love that book.
I don't think I want to commit.
Have you read
to,
it, Greg?
What? Oh, I
Have
read
you
it.
read
I
it?
read it when it came out.
Oh, okay.
It's a good book.
It looks like Sean's German one a little. Is it the same cover design?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
why I
think-
ordered
I think
it,
the cover
because
is
I thought
a
it
famous
was
piece of art.
a trade bait. I thought it was this size, but with the original cover. And this has the awful silky cover that has laminate on it.
oh,
And the other one was just a rough thing, but it's in German, and it's a mass market paperback.
yeah.
Take the cover off the first one and stick it on the second one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but
Over
it's
the
a bit
top.
smaller.
Oh, yeah, that won't work then.
Yeah, not sure where it is at the moment. I stuck it somewhere.
Jonathan Burrell said he was reading the Phantom books by Lee Falk. I got a few of them. Those are the old paperbacks from way back. So yeah, that's interesting. And
You can tie
Peter,
that in with the serial too, the Phantom serial.
oh yeah, from like the 30s. Must have been.
40s, I think the Phantom, maybe
Oh
I can't remember now exactly. Yeah, it's 30s or 40s anyway.
yeah, he's a good character. So who else we got? Alan, what will you be reading?
Just roughing it, and then, like I said, I'm going to read that pirate story, Pirate's Gold, by is it Yates? No, H. Bedford Jones.
Oh right,
Yeah, I've got one of his Delphis actually, Alan. His complete or collected works. I can't remember.
Yeah, I figured you might.
I don't know. You guys were showing all the Richard Francis Burton stuff in Voxer yesterday, so I went and I grabbed all my Richard Francis Burton books.
Wow.
I don't know if I'll read these this week because I want to read nonfiction, but Tales of the Arabian Nights, Volume 1, Signet Classic, and I've got The Perfumed Garden, which he wrote. I mean, he was quite a prolific writer, Richard Francis Burton, and a couple of those biographies. I think Sean and Mark had some. So
Yeah, I wish I could find. Well, I know it's somewhere in my boxes, but it's a dual biography. It's called A Rage to Live, and it's about Isabel and Burton.
yeah,
So that I want to read. I haven't read it. I've read the Rice one before, but I didn't even look. I didn't never recognize the cover that Mark put up.
Well, look for
The other
the
one that's good is the Devil Rides, I think it's called, or the Devil something, is a good biography too.
about Burton.
Yeah,
Well, there's this one too by Byron Farwell, just called Burton.
yeah,
And it's
that's
really good.
a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to get that one again. I need to get a better one of the Rice.
Yeah.
I don't remember which biography. I did do a biography on Burton. Oh, 15, 20 years ago. I'm trying to remember which one I read. I'm looking up in my database to see which biography I did.
Deb's.
I did the Byron Farwell is the one I did.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the first one I read of Burton too.
Which one was that? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
The Byron Farwell.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the other thing. Well, in May, I'm going to be reading Gene Wolfe's. What is it? I always get this wrong. World of the New Sun.
Earth of the New Sun.
Earth of the New Sun.
Yeah, I've read the first 2 books in the past. I never read all 4, so I'll be reading that. So that fits in adventure wise.
Yeah.
Or I could add some of these. I did a thing for it.
Yeah, I have. I haven't read Earth of the New Sun, but I want to, and I have it on Audible too as well. But here's the book, the last the one I have the set, and I've read the first 4 too. So I'd be up for reading it in May, I think. But May,
the science fiction
mayhem.
adventures.
Are those Sean? Are those paperback size, or are they like periodicals?
They're digest, like the size of a Reader's Digest.
Right. Okay.
From 1950, 58, I think it was, or 58 to 63.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are nice. Where did you get those?
I got them from a dealer because it was a complete set, and I just finally pulled it out of a box.
That's always fun, eh? When you find something you haven't seen in like years.
Yeah, I want to get the American, the sort of the first version of it, where there was 12 issues from 53 to 57, I think, or something like that. But
yeah,
it's a little hard to get.
Yeah. Did you say what you were going to read this next week, Debs? I don't remember.
I've got this couple that I showed you last week. So we've got the story of Gertrude Bell, Queen of the Desert, and Edith Durham's High Albania. So I think they'll probably be next week. But I found another couple that I quite fancy as well. In Search of Genghis Khan by Tim Severin.
Oh, cool.
And this is him, about 5 native Mongolians and a cameraman follow the trail of Genghis Khan through Mongolia on horseback.
Okay.
It's from early 1990s, I think. But that looks quite fun. And the other one I found is called The Great Arc.
Oh, that's interesting. I've read that.
Have you? It says it's the tale of how India was mapped and how Everest was named.
Yeah. Or Everest.
That sounds quite fun.
Or Debs, as you'll learn when you read it, it should be Everest.
Oh, should it?
Yeah, that's how he always insisted his name be pronounced. You'd be so annoyed that everybody calls it Everest. But actually, it's funny, after you mentioned Gertrude Bell last week, I found it on the secondhand book site, and I was able to get a hardback of it.
Oh,
cool.
Yeah, so I picked it up. Great book, that. It's well worth it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading those. It ties in with People April as well. In fact, 3 of those probably do. So
I'm sort of glad I can't find that at the moment, because I want to add that, because I want to finish up Travels in West Africa and then read the Cook's Last Voyage, the Wide Sea, for next week.
Sounds good. I'm trying to find some horror adventure for May to tie in with Horror
yeah.
Mayhem.
Or
Yeah.
the Terror. You can
The
join
Terror,
us.
yeah.
Yeah. I might do that actually, because several other people I know have read it and raved about it.
Well, it's about time I've read something else by Dan Simmons. I've been, since I think 91 or something, I first encountered him with Hyperion.
Yeah.
And so it's 30, crikey. Yeah, it's 30 some years later, and I haven't read anything else other than
Wow.
Hyperion.
Yeah, you would enjoy Drood too. I know, Sean.
He had
Yeah, I do want to read that one.
Is that
He had
another
a good
horror
one.
adventure?
Where Ernest Hemingway is the character, and it's
Oh.
set in when he was living in that Florida island during World War II, and he's doing something with spies, and that would be a very interesting one.
Well, I want to read Ilium and what's the other one? Ilium and
Olympus.
The Iliad and
Yeah.
Olympus.
Yeah. You've got the hardcovers, Greg. I remember you showing that one time, and I got, I'd love to get those.
I have them. They're good. They're signed. They're actually signed.
The sign.
Oh, really, Greg? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've got the Endymion, the first Endymion one that's signed by him. But I need to get the Rise of Endymion, and I've got the Fall of Hyperion. So I need to get first of the Hyperion, but that's a little pricey.
Yeah, I have the paperback of that, but
I'll do some comments here. Lou, Dune is another one I haven't read.
Yeah, you see,
Okay.
that's another one I might do in May.
Well, see, I read the first three, I think I was in school still at the time, the first three.
Don't think I've read it since then.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Aaron and I are reading Dune in June.
Oh, okay.
So if anybody
Yeah.
wants, I'm sure he wouldn't mind anybody else joining in on it.
I just
Cool.
recently read Dune in September.
What'd
The
you
problem
think?
is I have with it is I haven't reread it since about 2018, I think. But the problem is once I read it, I'll probably want to read all the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
getting.
the problem.
I want to do Children of. I've read Children of Dune before, but there's one part of Children of Dune that really annoys me in a storyline, and I'm going to see if I can learn to accept it in this second or third reread of that book.
acceptance is the key.
Well, I was thinking actually, because it came to mind, if we read The Terror, I don't know, it might be worth reading Michael Palin's nonfiction Erebus.
Erebus, yeah.
Because they were partnerships, weren't they? So one's a nonfiction and one's fiction.
Yeah, well, somebody was asking about that. I think it was Nathan at the Rambling Reviewer, and I mentioned the Erebus one, but I don't know it. Does he talk about the Terror in there as well, or is it just the Erebus?
No, I think I say I don't know what he's written in the book because again I haven't read it either. But I do know they were sister ships, so I'm pretty sure they probably gets a mention because they both came to bad ends, didn't they? So spoiler. Sorry.
How's your microphone holding up against background noise, by the way?
I don't hear a lot, Deb.
I can hear them a little, but nothing.
A little bit.
A little
It doesn't
bit.
disrupt anything.
Acceptable.
Okay.
Peter,
If I get a proper mic, it could be bad here because I got a banshee next door and 4 or 5 dogs because they start going. Anybody just walks by or anything, they're set off, and then she starts screaming at them and then screaming at somebody else as well. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a good shout, Ariane. Go for that.
Gertrude Bell. Peter's going to read a biography of Tesla.
Now I want to find it now. I want to find that.
Peter says Dune is epic. if you want to know where the idea of Star Wars came from. Yeah, well, they stole a lot of stuff for Star Wars.
Mm.
It's
A lot of
mostly from,
John Carter of
from,
Mars
it's
was a big
mostly
influence.
from the space operas of the late 20s, though.
Yeah,
Joseph Campbell.
Game of
goes into
Authors. I read The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder by David Gran.
Yeah,
I've got-
I have heard only good things about that.
You do?
I wanted to read that because I was given that last year, and I never got to read it. But again, I don't know where. There's just too many books.
Because I was
Yeah.
going to ask you, Jim, if you wanted to read so many things. If you wanted to read Lost City of the Monkey God by Douglas Preston.
Oh, I like Douglas Preston.
It's non-fiction, and they go in search of a lost civilization.
Yeah, I know the story. I would have to pick the book up, but I'd check it out.
Very large.
So I guess are we coming to a consensus at all for the group read, or
Not really, are we?
No. It doesn't look like it.
The only consensus is for a lot of people something short, I suppose, because we're all going to be committed to bigger things.
Yeah,
So, you know,
my mind's already in June on the Range. Yeah,
Oh, I picked up some great Louis L'Amour books this week.
I
yeah,
know.
good.
yeah, I got some coming, hopefully.
Lou
I have to
G.
say, though, Michael or Bookless Pete, he's got a comment there, which I think is an excellent shout. Personally, I think I tried to suggest him last week, but nobody seemed overly keen. But I think he's got a good
William
shout.
Hope Hodgson.
Where is it?
Yeah, the Ghost Pirate.
I'll bring it up.
Ooh,
That one, Mark.
Yeah,
I think I might have that actually.
not read that one by Hodgson?
I haven't
I've
read
not
it, but I
I've
think
not
I've got
read
it on
anything by
ebook.
him. I'm sure that's public domain.
oh, definitely.
The House.
Yeah, I think it
House
is.
on the Borderlands. I think it was written by William Hope Hodgson. I read that one.
That's his most famous.
Yeah.
He's the one that did the Karnaki too, didn't he? Didn't he do Karnaki? Or am I thinking somebody else?
Was that Hodgson? I should know that.
I've
I've drawn a blank.
Karnaki one.
Yeah,
Daniel
he did do
says
Karnaki.
the wager is up for.
Ghost Pirates.
The Wagger? Yeah, I do want to read the Wagger.
Well, the Ghost Pirates is free on Libby.
It's 276 pages as well, so it's not a disaster.
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
gonna
yeah,
take it here for
available public domain.
Yeah.
Aaron Hook
It's
says he's more
short.
than happy for anybody else to join.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Pete
Seems
the
like-
Book Lover.
Yes,
Tesla.
continue.
Tesla, the Wizard of Electricity by David J. Kent. Very interesting. He's an interesting human being, Tesla.
Very,
He invented a flying
Yeah.
vehicle and blueprints. Huh. So did Leonardo da Vinci, for that matter.
uh-huh.
And Lou says, thumbs up. Peter the Book Lover. Lou G, I had my hands on the wager at Costco the other day. The cover's amazing, but I didn't know anything about it, so I put it down.
Oh
How
dear,
many
oh
times have
dear.
you done that?
Okay, yeah, I'm going to read that this year almost certainly because it's in the Book 2 prize for nonfiction, and I think it's going to make the final round. And so I mean, that's just my estimation, but I think it'll make it to the final round.
And Ariane, don't forget, we've got a couple of good books to read together next month as well.
Yeah, Douglas Preston is good. Daniel Tenney, Game of Authors. I might either finish the John Carter trilogy with Warlord of Mars or jump into the wager.
Jump into the Wager, great book. Well, great book. It was fun. It was good. It was well done.
The Ghost Pirate sounds good. And Pete
I
the
think
Book Lover.
The cool thing about The Wager is it's the one of the main characters in it is he the father or grandfather of Lord Byron?
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he's only a young boy. Well, young midshipman.
Mm.
So, which is pretty cool.
So has everybody said what they'll be reading this next week?
Like I said, I'm doing Moonbound, and I have a BookTube prize, fiction prize I got to read.
Yeah, I've got 4 books. I don't know which one I'm going to read yet. I'm tempted. I have a Pirates of the Pacific book, and also this Lost City of Z. I don't know. I'm really tempted to read that one by David Gran. And then the other 2 I showed you. I don't know which one I'm going to read yet.
Well, I think Mark will be reading the Volsung saga, so I guess we can fit that in here as well.
Oh, that's adventure. Yeah, I just put my video up for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the announcement's tomorrow, isn't it? When does the event start? Is it through May?
From tomorrow.
Oh, it starts from tomorrow.
For a couple of weeks, yeah, because it's very
okay.
short. It's only 100 pages or so.
What event is this?
Sagalong.
Sagalong.
Oh.
But it's interesting you held up the Lost City. No, it's tomorrow. Lost City Z there, Jim, because I've got Peter Fleming's book. Ian Fleming's brother.
Yeah.
I've got his book of, I don't know if it's called just Brazil Adventure or something. I've got it somewhere, which is when he went out with a rather hastily prepared expedition to try and find Percy Fawcett from that book. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was quite the journalist, apparently. Peter Fleming, quite the writer.
Yeah.
But of course, nobody remembers him because Ian Fleming kind of overshadowed him with his character.
One that would be kind of a pairing would be kind of neat. What is it? Graham Greene did something through a travel sort of book through Africa, and then his wife later wrote
Travels with No Maps or something. Travels without maps.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I've got that somewhere too, I think.
Lou G just purchased Lonesome Dove. I still can't find my copy of it. I had a copy. I don't know if I must have lent it to somebody because I can't find my copy.
Where is that book? I've got to have a look.
I love Lonesome Dove.
Ariane's. What's that, Alan?
I love that book. I've read that a couple, 2-3 times, and I like telling my story about Larry McMurtry. Met him a couple of times in Mesa, Arizona. He owned the Mesa bookstore, old 3-story building with wooden floors and ladders. It was new and used. You'd pop in there and do readings and that.
Have you read any of the sequels or the prequels?
Oh yeah, the Streets of Laredo and that. Yeah,
yeah,
all that.
They're good too. Not as good as Lonesome Dove, but still good books. Yeah, great characters.
Mm-hmm. Never forget some of the scenes in there.
Yeah. So Ariane Fowler is going to read The Last Pirate of New York by Rich Cohen.
Don't know that.
And Pete, the book lover, says, can you imagine being a booktuber with a time machine you would never get behind? There was actually a movie like that a while back where this family, that was a trait that they had. They could travel through time. And the father, I think it was Bill Nye, I forget the name of the movie, but he'd go back in time just so he'd have some peace and quiet to read his books. And then
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget the name of the movie now. But it was pretty good. And his young son was, I think there was a love story in there too. And God, I forget that now. But yeah, that would not be nice. Just to get a little peace and quiet and all the time you need to read your books.
Well, just think you can buy all these books that are now out of print and really valuable, and you have great editions.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, that was a TV show. What was it now? The guy was going back to the Second World War London, and then he was bringing up he's bringing Back to the Future records and all sorts of trinkets, and he opened up a shop to sell all this stuff. I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
The
of it.
one with Nicholas Lyndhurst.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, can't remember
What
what,
was
it was
it?
called. It was quite good fun. I can't remember what it was called, but it was with Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Which one?
Yeah.
What was the story?
Where he's going back to the Second World War and
Good night, sweetheart.
A Good Night, Sweetheart. That's it.
And of course, Stephen King in 11/22/64 or 63, the time anomaly was in a restaurant, and the restaurateur would go back in time, buy the meat, and bring it back, and that's the meat he would be serving in his restaurant because it was like 5 cents a pound or something back in the day. So he'd go back and just buy all this meat and hamburger, bring it to the future, and he'd cook it up. You know.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that novel.
About the going into your room to have half an hour reading. You go in, you come out 10 years older.
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah. That's the risk, eh?
Oh, it's so annoying. Why do I do this to myself?
What are you doing there, Mark?
You know,
He's
when
gone
you
off
think
to search for a book.
you think of a book and you're like, I've got this book and I want to show it to you, and then you look and it's not where you think it is.
I
And
know.
you think, I have to find it now. I'll be driven mad. And of course,
Oh.
in the course of looking for it, I did find some other things. One of them being this. I don't know if you can see it.
Challenger.
I can't see that.
Challenger.
It's the Challenger novels by Arthur Conan Doyle all in one.
Oh, Professor Challenger.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And then I did find
Oh,
Oh, Mountains of the Moon.
yeah, and of course the best film ever made. I can find it.
Lulu.
Casablanca.
Treasure Island.
Oh,
yeah.
The 1930s is better.
No, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
It's rubbish. I have to say, it's not as good as that.
That's got Professor Challenger in.
Yeah, but he's not Professor Challenger. He's American.
Which movie was that, Sean?
Well, there's a 30s Treasure Island, and it's with can't remember his name, but he was in
Barry.
Silent Lost World.
Oh,
Barry. What's his name? Barry?
No, I can't think of his name.
Are those somebody Barry? No, Barry.
No, I'm pretty sure.
So Peter says Shane is another perfect book. June on the Range. Yeah, I love Shane. And Ariane
another
agrees
good
with
one.
him.
I haven't read that for
Read.
years either.
Yeah, that was a good book.
Mm.
I've already
I
got
picked
too many
up the-
ideas for June on the Range that I can't possibly do them all.
Yeah, that's
No.
my problem. There's too many things to read.
I've got 6 or 8 Louis L'Amour books have arrived.
There,
And then I've got the
Oh, you see
Donna
tough, yeah.
Hart narration of True Grit on Audible.
yeah. You know what? I mean,
He does
Louis
such a
L'Amour.
good job.
I love Louis L'Amour, but he is a formula. You know, he does write to a formula.
Yeah.
You know, and he does stray from that formula, but for the most part, he gives people what they want, and that's the formula Western, which he does so well.
Yeah.
You know,
Found it.
I found it. Peter Fleming, Brazil Adventure. So it's referenced in the book you've got there, Lost City Z, because these idiots go out and try to find him because it's not long after he goes missing. And of course, they're not very well prepared.
Not well equipped.
No,
Nice penguin copy.
it is. It's a bit what do you call it when it's stained? It's got the brown stains around it.
Oh yeah.
Foxed.
Foxing, is it? Yeah, around
Foxing.
there. But it's only really the first page. The rest of it's all right.
So what causes boxing? You might know, Sean. Is that
There's a lot of reasons for it. It's the impurities in the paper, like it's poor paper. That's not foxing, actually, unless it's spots. Some people said that it's because there's iron content in the paper. I've heard that it's usually just caused by damp conditions.
Well, there's spots here and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
But it's funny. Yeah, it says not for sale in the USA.
Huh.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you get a lot of those in Canada too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Andrew will be reading E.C. Tubbs for June on the Range.
Yeah, that's
Going
interesting.
back.
But I quite like. I read his book on what was it called? News from Tartary, where he did a trip overland to China through all the way to China. He's pretty good actually.
Tub?
Huh?
EC Tub?
No, sorry, Peter Fleming.
Peter Fleming.
Okay.
For the
Now he's
movie,
found it that he's engrossed in it.
Most Dangerous Game. Fabulous. It was filmed at the same time as King Kong, so all the sets are the same.
did you guys watch the recent one with the Hemsworth, one of the Hemsworth brothers?
No, I didn't
Most
see it.
Dangerous Game? They redid
Yeah,
it?
it was based on the Most Dangerous Game.
No, I haven't.
But it was
Didn't know.
nothing like it was a modern take on it. It was still a good kind of thriller kind of thing, but it was nothing like the original story.
Wallace
But,
Beery.
Wallace Berry. Yeah, that's it.
Berry, that's close enough. Come on. Off on the top
Oh,
of my head.
Wallace Beery. I love his son. Oh no, I'm thinking Noah Berry Jr. He was
Berry.
he was
It
the
was his
father on
nephew or
Rockford
something
Files.
like that. Noah Berry Jr. was his nephew, I think.
Yeah, he was the dad on Rockford Files.
Oh,
This is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah, I've got them all streaming here. Actually, we have a site, and I was shocked to see the old Rockford Files on
I've
there.
got them all on DVD, man. I had to get them on DVD.
So great, James Garner. I really, really love him.
Yeah, and they tried to redo it with some other actor. You can't redo Rockford Files with another
You hear
actor.
these remakes, and it's like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
I like Strother Martin's character. What was his name? T.T. Flowers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of well-known faces in that show. Well, all the old TV shows. Peter the Book Lover asked if anybody has a favorite poem.
Oh, lots.
yeah,
But it
many.
varies from day to day.
American, British, Irish.
I like The Lady of Shalott. I like
The
Tennyson.
poem is John Clare's The Parish, which is amazing.
My favorite
Been
poem
doing a
is like
full series this month.
Elizabeth. Sorry,
And then-
yeah.
and then- Sorry, and then Lou says the very next comment. She says The Lady of Shalott, and I didn't read, but yeah, that's my favorite poem.
wow,
If
that's
I had one, it would be
Gee.
Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock.
there you go.
Mm.
I mean, I'd probably go
Yeah.
for. I like If by Kipling. I like Invictus by Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. I could go on. And then I also like, because it has happy memories for me, the I Cannot Go to School poem by Shel Silverstein, if you know that one.
Oh yeah.
I cannot go to school today, said little Jimmy Joe McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. What's that? What's that you say? Today is Saturday. Oh, goodbye. I'm going out to play. And the Revolting Rhymes series by Roald Dahl. I love those.
Oh, they're
Then
great.
there's Gunga Din by Rudyard Kipling and Charge of the Light Brigade.
Sam Jaffe and
Going back
Victor
to
Baglin,
Kids
Cary
things.
Grant, and
Vita Lampada. What's it? Who wrote that? The whole. It's a quiet. What is it? Quiet in the Close tonight. There's something to play. Play up, and play the game. I like that one. Yeah.
I like Hilaire Cautionary Tales as well, where all the kids are misbehaving and one by one they each die because they're bad.
And
They're good fun.
Shelley, A Stranger in a Strange Land, Ozymandias. Look upon my work, ye mighty in despair. Yeah, it's great.
Peter likes Charge of the Light Brigade. Lou says she totally misspelled Shalott.
Lady
That's okay, Lou. I probably mispronounced it. So
Have you
So
been seeing
Michael was saying Most Dangerous Game was shot on the same set as King Kong. Did you see that?
Yeah, someone else mentioned that just a minute ago.
Did I
that's
skip
what I
over
said,
that?
yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Bookless Pete's name is Michael. That's why I keep referring to it, but his channel name is Bookless Pete. So if I'm confusing people,
Sorry, I skipped that one. I'm trying to get them all here, but I think I'm skipping some over. Trying not to.
Well, when Fay Ray died in like 2004, 2005, they turned the lights down in the Empire State Building.
Wow. My favorite is either The Gods of the Copybook Headings by Kipling or The Rolling English Road by G.K. Chesterton. Tiger by William Blake.
yeah,
What's the one where Sassoon? What's the name? Oh no, it's not Sassoon. It's the other one that died.
Wilfred Owen,
Yeah, it's the one about the soldier.
Dulce Decorum Est, Pro Patria Mori.
No. Maybe it is Sassoon. It's the one where the soldier, kills himself.
Is that Anthem for a Doomed Youth? That one?
Yeah, that's it. I think. Yeah,
Hmm.
that could be it. Yeah.
Pat's been doing a really good series because it's National Poetry Month, and she's been doing a different poet every day, and so many that I had never heard of before. But she's reading them, and she's reading them beautifully. So they're really good. That's Book Chat with Pat.
She should do some of mine.
Yes, she should.
Peter did a video on Red Riding Hood and the Wolf from Revolting Rhymes.
I don't know if you've read the Revolting Rhymes, but it's so good. I mean, there's a line in that one where like she's confronted by the wolf, and it just goes something like, "Lo, one eyelid flickers. She whipped a pistol from her knickers, and bang, 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 she shot him dead."
Wow.
No, was it? She aimed it at the creature's head, and bang, 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 she shot him dead.
Gotta have to rhyme.
Sorry?
Have you read
Gotta
any
have
of his
revolting
adult
rhyme.
stories?
Who's that, Deb?
Have you read any of Roald Dahl's adult short stories?
Yeah.
They're really quite twisted in places.
Well, the famous one, of course, is the one with the leg of lamb, isn't it?
Yeah, I was reading.
Tales of the Unexpected.
Yes, yeah. I was reading one a couple of months ago where he was a traveller and he was miles from anywhere. Car breaks down, can't go anywhere. Gets picked up by this really rich guy and taken to his house. He has a beautiful wife and a beautiful daughter. And at some point during the night, he decides to sneak into one of the bedrooms and makes love to, he doesn't know whether it's beautiful wife or beautiful daughter. Turns out to be the daughter with leprosy.
Daughter with leprosy. That's a
Yes.
twist.
Who didn't come down for dinner that evening. He's really quite a sick man, or he was.
I was looking at his short stories a couple of days ago, but I don't, because it was a recently published edition. And I'm worried that they've boulderized those stories as well as his children's books.
I bet they probably did.
Yeah.
Because they are not politically correct by standards of today.
From what I remember, he was notoriously anti-Semitic.
Yeah. But also he had odd sexual ideas as well, I believe.
But
And
I
that
have to
certainly
say,
comes out in the
it's
story.
sometimes one of these things where everybody like to conveniently forget just how pretty much everyone in the 1930s in England was anti-Semitic. It's just obviously after the war, the change in consciousness, the feeling of guilt comes about. But I'm sure if you were in England prior to the Second World War, there was a lot of anti-Semitism in England.
I'm sure it was true.
I'm not going to say it was violent. I don't mean it was violent. But you only have to look at Dickens, the way he portrays them in his books. It was just a kind of, I don't know if you can have passive anti-Semitism. They weren't going around like burning synagogues, but they did have, a kind of dislike in things. So to say that he was like virulently anti-Semitic, I think is like, well, yeah, him and pretty much everybody else who grew up before the war, yeah.
That's a good point.
There was violence during the First World War.
Sorry?
There was anti-Semitic violence in London and other
Yeah.
Liverpool.
But that
and
could
things
also be
during-
because a lot of Jews have Germanic names too, so it might have been
but that was during the First World War, and I think that's what it was.
a lot of Dachshunds got kicked in the First World War as well, apparently. So, yeah, I think it's just one of those things where it's easy to say it because he's like
the town where I came from in Canada. Well, you'll know this, Jim. Used to be called Berlin, but then they changed the name.
Well, I lived in a small town up north called Swastika, just outside of Kirkland Lake.
Wow.
I saw a video on it.
Yeah, my uncle owned a hotel there. He ran a hotel, the hotel in Swastika. I lived there for a while.
Because this guy did a video on, like, I think it was in Finland, maybe the Finnish Air Force finally retired the swastika as its emblem because they've had it even after the war, even up until like a couple of years ago, maybe. Because there's nothing wrong with it. You know,
like this town went through, like, people wanted to change the name and they said, no, we're not changing the name. You know, I mean, the swastika, I mean, just because the Nazis commandeered the swastika symbol doesn't mean that it was, you know, a bad thing. You know, it's been around forever. It's a Celtic symbol.
It's amazing that you see on the internet that like people like there's photos of Clara Bow, silent film actress, wearing, you know, swastika on her hat in the 20s, and people are, you know, on the internet they're calling her a Nazi and everything, and I'm going,
you see, that's again the whole point. The Nazis chose it because at the time it was a popular symbol again. It'd been kind of rediscovered and brought to the West. You know, I do find it funny though, Debs, that Aaron's accidentally called you Dad.
No.
Well, I was going to ask about that. Who's he calling Dad? Is he calling
me?
Oh, okay.
But he's right. It is one of the Uncle Oswald stories. So Roald Dahl's got this whole series of stories where he is given a chest of his uncle's writings and told not to publish them under any circumstances.
I'm not surprised
because they're too risky. They're too risque to be published because Uncle Oswald was a notorious philanderer, and they're really good, these stories.
Oh, heaven forbid. He was a philanderer.
Probably an anti-Semite as well.
Probably.
Other things.
Probably, yeah. But yeah, the whole premise of this uncle who's left his diaries, and every so often in Roald Dahl books, you'll find another couple of Uncle Oswald stories, and they're always funny.
And it was Uncle Oswald who jumped into bed with his leprous daughter.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he might have more than his fingers falling off at that point then.
Quite possibly. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, he took a little piece of her away with him.
Oh, God.
I'm looking it up now.
We'll get Jim banned on YouTube here.
Jim's first live and his channel's cancelled.
Yeah.
But they did it to me on my first live. I had Sean and Co always talking about cutting off penises and preserving them in, you know, brine or whatever it was. What was it?
Well, yeah, you're the collector of the genitalia.
Historical genitalia. That's right. Yeah, it's my
There's
hobby.
a museum in Iceland that displays genitalia.
Aye.
Mainly animals.
Oh,
mainly animals.
But the last time I was in Iceland, there was a rumor that an old farmer had left them in his will.
Oh.
Well, is that the place where they've got a pair of trousers, pants that are actually the skin of somebody?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, God.
With
If you
everything.
think that is bad, I did it for the BookTube Prize last quarter. There was a cookbook on Chinese cooking.
Oh, God.
And apparently there is to quote the author, a delicious soup. It's stag pizzle soup.
Oh, God.
What? They eat tiger penises as well.
Nice.
But actually, Sean, you reminded me because I actually got hit in the head by a 500-year-old pair of trousers.
I thought you
belonging
were going to
to.
say there was a flying penis somewhere.
No, there was no flying penis, but
Oh, okay.
they belong to John Knox, yeah. Because when I graduated from Edinburgh with my masters, they have like a kind of hat, like they hit you on the head or tap you on the head with this hat, and the legend is that the hat is made from the breeches of John Knox, yeah, the religious reformer. And of course, you think about it, you're just being hit on the head basically with a 500-year-old pair of trousers. It's kind of a weird graduation ceremony for you.
I've just seen Genre
That's
Brooks's
really
comment about bequeathed genitalia to the museum in his last Willy and
Last Willy and testicle.
So Lou says Agatha Christie would probably be canon. Well, she's been censored. We know that
Yeah.
in her latest books.
Well, I found when I was looking on the secondhand site, I found oh gosh, what's the correct title of the book? You know the one I mean.
10 Little Indians?
No, that's also incorrect.
That was the
Then there were
second
none.
title.
And
Then there were
none.
none, it's called
Yeah.
now, yeah.
So, but I found it under its original title. In Poland, obviously, it's not a problem, so they're selling it under that.
Yeah,
title.
10 little N words. It was
The
called
N-word,
initially.
Yeah.
Little N boys.
Recent
Yeah.
edition, Mark, or is it an old edition?
It's an old edition. It's a second hand. I don't know how old it is, but
If it
What-
was
what
cheap,
about-
I would buy it.
well, it's in a what do you call it? Like a leather bound
Oh,
set, not set, but like there's two novels in it.
What do they do now with the Joseph Conrad book?
What, the End of the Narcissus?
Yeah.
I think they probably actually. I don't know. Let's look on Amazon, see if we can buy it.
yeah. Let's take a look.
As soon as you type the word in, there's no suggestions come up.
Yeah.
Just look
Yeah,
for
you
the
might have trouble with that.
Yeah, no, it's there. It's
Yeah.
it's on the Kindle. They got it. They have it, and it's under that.
Does Penguin still publish it?
No, this is just one of those free Amazon Kindle book. But it seems maybe they just have it as a Tale of the Forecastle. Now I don't know what they might call it now.
Oh, I think that didn't the Americans have a different title of it? I think it was published in the U.S. It was published under a different title.
Children of the Sea, no.
I'm not sure.
But no, there's actually quite a few of them. Oh, someone's actually changed it. I suppose it is better, but they've changed it to the. I can say this word. I think the Negro of the Narcissus.
The Delphi collection has it with its original title.
Yeah, I have collections of Joseph Conrad, and it does have the original title.
Yeah.
And like you were talking about, change the titles. I was listening to an audio version of The Heart of Darkness, and I was reading along with it, and it was done by the reader was Kenneth Branagh.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But he whenever they use that word, he just replaced it with natives. The word native.
Which ruins the point of the book.
Yeah, because it's an anti.
It is.
Right.
Now, the thing is, I don't know if that was Kenneth Branagh doing that on his own, or was that the script that he was handed?
Well, I imagine he had some kind of control in that, Branagh.
Well, he might not know. I mean, he might just read it and it just says native, and he just read it and not really knowing that it was updated. But then you have to wonder, what else do people update when they do this?
Yeah.
They just swap out words.
That's the danger. That's a slippery slope, you know. I mean, I hate the idea of changing writers' original words.
They did it
Well,
for Roald
Greg,
Dahl.
And you can't gloss over everything. You're you know, if it's not there, you're going to forget it, and they're just going to like what's the saying? Like you're just repeat history again, you know?
Exactly.
Well, Greg, didn't you say we were reading? I think, or at some point, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I think it was.
Yes.
Where they changed something about smoking or something like that.
Yeah, what happened was I had a very nice old paperback edition that I bought for like $3, and I didn't want to spoil it. So I said, I'm going to download the free Kindle Vision from the library. And the first page, I noticed the car was different. It was just like it was like a Studebaker in the original, and then it was something else. And I go, that's weird. And then I started going through the book, and I think it was done with the author's permission, but I'm not positive. When they made the 70s movie version of it, they updated the book to be in the 70s. So they brought it up to date. And a lot of it just didn't work. Like they said, they were smoking in the original book, and they cut out the smoking scenes. They cut out references to people's race again. And they changed some, like in the original novel, it was set way out in California suburbs, and they just changed it to a suburb of San Francisco. And I'm going, why? I mean, if you remember the 70s version, which actually is a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it was good. Donald Sutherland and Leonard Nimoy.
It has the best movie ending of all time.
Yeah.
I think. But the book has nothing like it. So why bother updating the book to 70s when you're not even following the story of the book?
But it was a novelization of the movie, basically.
No, they just updated because in the movie he was a health inspector.
Yeah.
In the novel he was a doctor. It was still a doctor in the novel. But they just update. I'm
just waving at MJ.
So someone had a huge brain fart when they decided to update that.
So Daniel says, circling back to the Terror, I tried watching the AMC show, but just got very bored with it. But I wanted to like it. I like the show. And MJ is here.
Oh, hello, MJ.
Hey, MJ.
Hi, MJ.
She's saying hi to Debs and hi to everyone.
You can read it with us if you want, Michael. Let me know.
Well, I've started a Voxer group
the Terror
for the Terror.
Next month.
You started the Voxer group for the Terror, and I'm not in it, and it was my idea. Jesus, Sean.
I haven't asked you yet because I didn't know whether you were still going to read that or not.
Jesus, Sean, honestly, what a way to make me feel welcome and included. Oh my God.
That's why I'm announcing it here, so I can add people.
Who's in it?
You guys, you two, Sean and Mark are like a bickering old married couple. Those two.
Who's in it, Sean?
So far, Jess, bad as what's her thing? Bad as rad or
Bad as rad.
Yeah, and Nathan at the Rambling Reviewer.
All right. Okay.
Well, it sounds to me like you guys have picked the Terror as next month's group read.
No,
well, that's why I went into the group, because I didn't think we were doing it, because I thought the consensus was that it was too big, that nobody else was doing it. But
it was Tim who pussied out at the 700 pages comment.
I think I'm the only one that's saying a hard no on the 700 pages. So,
and also you're the only one that's read it, aren't you?
Sorry, Debs?
He's the only one that's read it, isn't he?
I've read it.
I think Alan's read it as well. Alan, you've read it.
Already. Okay. My favorite horror novel. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting
you want to be in it, Debs, as well?
Yeah, go on. Add me in. I'm going for.
Throw me in there too, Sean.
Okay.
Oh, we picked up the gauntlet.
Well, maybe we do the Ghost Pirates then as the group read.
Oh, you should just do the Terror as the group read. I mean, obviously, everyone but me is reading the Terror, except for me. I don't know if Mark is reading the Terror. But
I'm not reading it. I've read it 3 times already. Yeah.
I have other Dan Simmons novels too I want to read. Like, he was pretty prolific. He's got some private eye novels I want to read. Yeah.
Is he dead? No.
He's still
No, not yet.
alive. There's
He's not
something
dead
going
yet.
on with Dan Simmons.
I was going to say, Greg, the way you look, he's still alive, but I wouldn't expect anything from him anytime soon.
Well, they've been promising to publish one of his books for like years, and they haven't. So my guess is he has health issues and is not able to finish writing his books. That's just a personal
like that. It's
Well,
like that.
I'm surprised he hasn't done another Hyperion Cantos book, because he did the short story in, I think, 2010, which opens it up for something else, and it hasn't happened.
It's like C.J. Sanson, the guy who did the Shard Lake books. You know, sadly, he's very poorly and hasn't been able to release his book. Ariane's in it as well. You can add her to Voxer if you've got her on there.
Ariane, I would read the Terror.
Anybody else just message me on Voxer if I haven't added you yet.
I like the series. I think the series was pretty awesome. It had a nice slow build up, and just the isolation, they portrayed it really well. The isolation of the ship being encased in ice up, it was pretty creepy. So if the book is anything like the series was, I'm looking forward to reading it.
Did that have Lovejoy's in it, isn't it? I always forget his name.
Ian McShane?
Yeah.
Is he?
Lovejoy. God, that's going back, Sean.
I always forget his name, so it's Lovejoy.
I was trying to say his name the other day, and I couldn't remember his name either, because we watched the new show where the character is a younger Ian McShane, and I'm trying to say, he doesn't look nothing like Ian McShane that in that new show.
He's really good in American Gods. He plays a charming, evil person.
See, I didn't see that. I didn't watch that.
Just quick question.
I like him in Deadwood. Did you guys watch Deadwood?
Your handle is just your name, is
Deadwood
it?
yet.
Sorry?
Your handle, Sean's just your name, is it?
Yeah, but without the D, it's just Sean Standfast, I think.
But yeah, he's brilliant, Ian McShane. He does a good job. And whatever
he's on Babylon 5 as well. So there you go.
I remember him in an old Magna PI episode where he played a bad guy.
I don't remember.
You guys ever watch that?
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah. An old I think he was an old, it's been years since I saw that episode, but an old buddy of Magnum's, and he's going crazy, I think, an ex-Vietnam vet, if I remember correctly. Like I say, it's been so long.
Oh yeah, it's a long time since I've seen Magnum.
But Lovejoy, yeah, that's a blast from the past.
Sunday nights. Lovejoy.
Yeah.
It.
Well, the very first episode, he's arrested for robbing a house outside of Bedford, where I was living before here.
Huh.
Yeah, American Gods. It was so strange when I started watching it. It's like, but it was really, really good. It's like it's told not so much in narrative form. Sometimes it's metaphor. But they didn't finish it. They cut it, and you don't. I don't know if I'm hoping Amazon picks it up, or was it Amazon that killed it? I can't remember now.
MJ loved American Gods.
I got to read the book at some point. Never read a book by him.
Yeah, Ariane remembers the Magna PI episode.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I don't remember that one.
I watched that show religiously, man. I love that show.
I remember Jenny Agutter being on it.
Who?
Jenny Agutter.
I don't know if I know that person.
I don't know her.
I'd know where to see her probably.
The Railway Children, Equus.
She was on. She. One of the big things was Logan's Run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was in Logan's Run, wasn't she?
And recently as a nun in the series The Midwife.
Yeah, Call the Midwife.
I saw Ian McShane in something recently, actually. I can't remember what it was.
The John Wick movies.
Nah, it was an episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit. He was playing like a kind of Netflix exec done for casting couch stuff.
Oh yeah, like he's so good because he's so charming. Like he can charm anyone, but he can be evil at the same time.
Yeah, he plays a good bad guy.
He was in Battle of Britain as well, wasn't he? The Battle of
MJ said that was on Showtime.
Yeah, I only saw it on. I only saw it on. I think Prime, when it was on Prime.
Yeah, the new show based on John Wick is called The Continental, and it's a prequel to the John Wick movies. And the young guy who plays the Ian McShane character just not up to par at all.
He's 81 though, eh? I mean,
Wow.
Ian McShane? Well, I guess he's been around a long time.
Well, yeah, because he was in his 40s. He must have been in his 40s with Lovejoy. Like he was no spring chicken in Lovejoy.
I said he was in the Battle of Britain film, which is like 1960.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. I've seen it, but I don't remember him being in it.
He's the one who loses his wife and kids in the bombing in London when he goes to visit. That he pops out to help with something. And he comes back, and the church they were sheltering in is destroyed.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
Well, there were Lovejoy novels apparently, which
Jonathan Cash or Gash. I've never read any. I do want to read them though.
I would read those. I thought the villain Hickey, I think that's his name, was a great villain in the book The Terror. The monster was cool, but Hickey was a vile character. If he's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
That must be Ian McShane then.
MJ, he's a cool 81 then. Hey,
that's what I mean.
If I can make it to 81, I'll be happy.
It's like he's in his 80s or whatever, and women will still fawn over him.
He's pretty cool. Yeah. He was, I mean, if you guys ever watched Deadwood, though, man, like every second word's like a curse word, man.
Al Swearingen.
Al Swearingen. Like the name is just right on the money.
Yeah,
I could watch that. I have to say, yeah, it's really good, Deadwood.
There's another one that was that I haven't seen. What is it, Boardwalk? I'd like to see that one as well.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Boardwalk Empire.
Oh yeah, I think that's the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's Steve Buscemi, that one.
I don't know. I just remember seeing previews of it, and I thought I might like it, So
yeah,
I just never got around to seeing it.
MJ, he likes Ian McShane apparently.
Thinks he's hot.
So I don't know, guys. We're at like an hour and 37 minutes. I don't know if you want to wrap it up or you want to keep going.
Lunchtime is calling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably about time to wrap it up pretty soon.
Yeah, because we're all caught up on the comments. Just MJ says, yes, Steve Buscemi's in that. The Boardwalk Empire. That was a really good show.
Oh, that's an actor? I don't recognize the name, so I don't know.
Oh, he's quite the guy. I mean, he's an odd-looking man, but he's a firefighter in real life, like a volunteer firefighter. And when 9/11 happened, he was right in there, right in the middle of it, helping people. Steve Buscemi, yeah.
Wow.
Quite,
even though he was already an established actor as well, wasn't he? So I mean, it wasn't like,
he was already what?
Recognize him, but I don't.
He was already an established actor, so
yeah,
he was still in there. That's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He started out in Tarantino stuff for the mainstream, I suppose. Really.
Yeah. Reservoir. Was he in Reservoir Dogs? I think he was.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah. But yeah. So shall we wrap it up there then?
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I have anything else adventurous to say.
No, just a chance to just kind of chat anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll say goodbye, everybody. Then.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for showing up. I didn't no disaster happened.
Nope.
Mr. Pink, she says, yeah, from Reservoir Dogs. Okay, everyone.
All right.
Take care, and thanks for coming by.
Next
See ya.
week.
Yeah.